Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautifully dramatic Tuesday, and we need to talk about the absolute nightmare unfolding on Spoon Island. Kidnappings, fake identities, and a twin secret that is about to shatter a mother's heart into a million pieces. Grab your coffee, because we have a lot to unpack. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and my brain is just spinning out of control, trying to process what General Hospital is doing with Cassius right now. Like, basically, he is in the tightest spot imaginable. And I am up way too late analyzing every single angle of this. Here's what's bugging me. He's been parading around as Nathan West for a while now, right? And we all kind of knew the other shoe was going to drop. But the way they are orchestrating this drop is just, it's brutal. It's really, really brutal. I mean, not exactly brutal in a physical way, though there is that too, I guess. Considering the whole kidnapping angle, but emotionally, it's devastating. Actually, no, wait, let me back up. Before we even get into the emotional devastation in the confession, we have to look at the logistics of how we are getting there. The week of June 8 to 12 is setting up this massive collision course that I just can't stop replaying in my head. So Ross Cullen, let's talk about Ross Cullen for a second. The man is a menace, a literal menace. I know he's been causing chaos all over the canvas, but abducting Liesl Obrecht, he just straight up ambushes her in her car, chloroforms her, and drags her to Spoon Island. Why? Because he's desperate. Britt Westbourne, who is currently on the run with Rocco Falconeri, which is a whole nother tangent I could go down, but I won't wait. Maybe I will later. No focus. Anyway, Britt was working on this cold fusion prototype project for Jen, Sidwell, and Cullum. But since Britt is MIA and Sidwell has officially declared that locating her is no longer a priority, Cullum needs her mother's expertise. Liesl is a genius, obviously. So he kidnaps her, but think about the sheer audacity of this move. He's coercing her into finishing Cesar Faison's old project. Faison's project. The layers of trauma here are insane. Okay, wait, what was I saying? Oh, right, the drop-off. So Cullum brings an unconscious, chloroformed Liesl to Wyndemere. And where does he put her? In the exact same sub-basement cell where Jocelyn Jax is currently being held hostage. Imagine Jocelyn's perspective for a second. She's been trapped down there, dealing with Pascal's creepy taunting, trying to figure out how to escape using those makeshift weapons Anna Devane left behind. Which, by the way, how cool is it that Anna left a message on the wall? I was taken on the 31st of October 2025. Chills. Literal chills. Anyway, Jocelyn has been plotting and scheming, dealing with Cassius coming in and out, and suddenly the heavy iron door opens, and Cullum just dumps an unconscious Liesl Obrecht on the floor like a sack of potatoes. Jocelyn's reaction is going to be pure panic. She's going to be demanding answers. What did you do to her? She's asking in the previews. It's wild. She's probably terrified Cullum used too much chloroform or something. But then again, that doesn't explain why Sidwell is the one calling the shots on the communication front. Because the spoilers say Jen Sidwell is the one who initially informs everyone about Britt's replacement. So Sidwell is at Wyndemere and he tells Cassius, hey, locating Britt is no longer a priority. Can you imagine Cassius's face in that exact moment? He is visibly disappointed in the previews. And he probably wonders if that's code for she's dead. Like, that's how Sidwell operates, right? But no, Sidwell means they have a replacement. And that replacement is Mutter. Liesl, Cassius's own mother. The mother who currently thinks he is Nathan West. The sheer panic that must be going through Cassius's mind right now. He has to face her. I need a deep dive into Cassius's psychology here because it is fascinating and also kind of pathetic. Or maybe not. I don't know. I mean, he's a grown man who took over his dead twin brother's life that is inherently unhinged. But he also claims he was hidden away by Cesar Faison since birth. If that's true, and I think it is, or at least he believes it is, because why lie about something that easily disproven by DNA? Then Cassius is as much a victim of Faison's manipulative insanity as anyone else. Faison literally kept a spare twin in his back pocket. That is so dark, like incredibly dark. So Cassius has been living this lie, probably craving the maternal love that Nathan got, even if Nathan's relationship with Liesl was complicated and fraught with its own trauma. And now he has to walk down into that dungeon and look Liesl in the eyes. And this is the part that keeps me up at night, the confession. Cassius has to tell Liesl the truth. He can't keep up the Nathan charade while she is locked. in a cell being forced to build a cold fusion prototype. Or can he? No, he can't. The spoilers explicitly say Nathan West is set to make a monumental confession disclosing to Liesl that he is actually Nathan's twin brother. Let's just pause and think about Liesl Obrecht's grief for a second. She lost Nathan. It destroyed her. It fundamentally altered her character trajectory for years. Then miraculously Nathan comes back. She probably had her doubts right, like a mother knows. A part of her must have suspected this return was too miraculous to be real. But grief makes you want to believe the impossible. You want to believe your son is back. So Cassius is going to stand there in that dimly lit cell and shatter her reality all over again. He has to break her heart. He has to say, Nathan never truly returned to you. I am Cassius. I can already picture Kathleen Gotti's performance in this scene. It's going to be Emmy worthy. I'm calling it right now. She's going to go through shock, then denial, then absolute. Earth-shattering devastation, and finally rage. Liesl's rage is legendary. But she's also going to be totally taken aback by the fact that Cassius survived at all. She presumably believes he died at birth. Or maybe she didn't even know she had twins. Wait, I think it was established she thought the other baby didn't make it. The whole Caesar Faison hiding him thing. I mean, Faison was a monster. He orchestrated this entire sick dynamic from the very beginning. And his ghost is still ruining these people's lives. Anyway, the point is... Wait, what was the point? Oh, right, the confession and the immediate fallout. So, Liesl wakes up in this cell. Jocelyn is there, probably hovering and asking a million questions, because that's what Jocelyn does. Cassius walks in. He has to clarify the details of the project that Cullum and Sidwell want her to finish the cold fusion prototype that Britt abandoned. But Liesl is stubborn. She is not going to just roll over and build a dangerous weapon for these psychos. Especially not after finding out the man delivering the message is her secret twin son who has been lying to her face. She's going to refuse. And that's when Cassius has to drop the hammer. He has to warn her about the dire repercussions if she doesn't comply. Is Cassius really trapped though? I keep going back and forth on this. On one hand, he's working with Sidwell and Cullum. He's complicit. He's been holding Jocelyn hostage. He's a bad guy. But on the other hand, Sidwell is terrifying. Cullum is a literal murderer who shot Marco Rios and is now hunting down Britt and Rocco. Cassius might genuinely be in over his head. He might realize that if he disobeys Sidwell, he's a dead man. And now, his mother's in the crosshairs. If he wants to protect Liesl, he has to convince her to cooperate. It's a completely messed up family reunion. He's going to have to admit that he feels just as trapped as she does these days. He's a prisoner of Sidwell's operation just as much as Jocelyn and Liesl are, except his prison doesn't have iron bars. It has blackmail and the threat of execution. And let's not forget the Jocelyn factor in all of this. Jocelyn Jax is just sitting there, a captive audience to this bizarre Cassadine-adjacent Faison legacy family trauma. She's going to be caught right in the middle of this unfolding drama. I can just see her chiming in, trying to use the situation to her advantage. Like, hey Liesl, your fake son is a psychopath. Help me stab him with this Shiv Anna left behind. Okay, maybe not exactly like that. But Jocelyn is a fighter. She's going to be looking for any distraction, any weakness she can exploit. If Cassius is emotionally compromised by his mother's rejection and devastation, Jocelyn might make her move. She already tried to ambush him once. She's just waiting for him to drop his guard. Listening to this deeply personal confession might give her the exact psychological leverage she needs. Actually, no, first I should mention the Nina connection before I forget. Because this twin secret doesn't just affect Liesl, it affects Nina Reeves too. Nina is going to be looking for Liesl. They are close, and Nina is already stressed out about the Willow and Chase drama, which again I could talk about for hours, but I'm forcing my brain to stay on Spoon Island. The spoilers say Nina catches up with Nathan and has questions about missing Liesl. Cassius is going to have to lie to Nina's face. He's going to have to come up with a cover story to keep his secrets hidden. How long can he juggle all these lies? He's telling Liesl the truth in the dungeon, breaking her heart, but lying to Nina up in the real world, pretending everything is fine. It's a house of cards, and it's about to collapse spectacularly. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Why would Sidwell even trust Cassius at this point? If Sidwell knows Cassius is Liesl's son, wouldn't he anticipate a conflict of interest? Or maybe Sidwell doesn't care. Maybe Sidwell thinks the threat of violence is enough to keep everyone in line. He's got that icy, detached villain thing going on. He probably looks at Cassius and Liesl as just cogs in his machine. But you don't mess with Liesl Obrecht's maternal instincts. Even if Cassius is a stranger to her, he is still her blood. Or wait, will she reject him entirely because he's a product of Phazon's manipulation? I mean, Phazon raised him. Phazon molded him. Liesl spent years trying to escape Phazon's shadow. And now, a living embodiment of Phazon's secrets is standing in front of her, wearing her dead beloved son's face. I think it was episode... Well, I don't remember the exact episode number. But back when Liesl first lost Nathan, the grief was so raw. To revisit that now feels almost cruel to the character, but it's brilliant soap opera angst. She has to mourn Nathan all over again. The finality of it, the realization that the man she's been talking to, the man she thought was her redeemed son, is an imposter. And not just an imposter, but a twin raised by her worst nightmare. The psychological damage Phazon is still inflicting from beyond the grave is astounding. It's like he's reaching out from hell to torture her one more time. Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed in the previews that Cassius looks genuinely distressed. Like, he's not smirking, he's not doing the typical villain gloat. He looks broken. I think he really wanted to be Nathan. He wanted that life, that family, the love that Nathan had from Maxie, from Liesl, from everyone, and now he has to strip it all away and admit he's just Cassius. The spare, the secret, the monster's hidden project. It's tragic, basically. I know I just said he was a bad guy holding Jocelyn hostage. And I know I just said the opposite about him being a victim, but hear me out, he can be both. That's what makes this show so good when it hits the right notes. A villain who is trapped by bigger villains, forced to hurt the only family he has left.